Okay, this is actually quite a tricky question. So if you graph this, this would be y equals x squared. And then you have a semicircle. That's 1. It's minus 1. And we'll have to figure out these points of intersection. So that's just when x squared equals root 1 minus x squared. So that's when x4 equals 1 minus x squared. So that's when x4 plus x squared minus 1 equals 0. That's a quadratic. You can solve that. It's minus b plus or minus, but the minus answer won't make sense because it has to be positive. Minus b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So it means that the x values are plus or minus the root of that surd. That's good. So it's going to be the integration. I'll just call this minus a to a for the moment, so I don't have to write that big thing. The semicircle, which is root 1 minus x squared minus x squared. So I think I should split that into 2. Minus a to a, root 1 minus x squared minus x cubed over 3 minus a to a. So that would be minus a to a, root 1 minus x squared minus a 2a cubed over 3. I sub in the a and the minus a. So really I just have to calculate this now. And I can use a substitution here. We call that u. Call that x, that 1, that root 1 minus x squared. So if the cos of u equals x, then that means dx du will equal minus sine u. So that means dx equals minus sine u du. And by the way, this root 1 minus x squared, that's the sine of u. The sine of u is equal to root 1 minus x squared over 1. So this becomes minus 2/3 a cubed plus the integration from minus a to a sine u times dx, which is minus another sine u, so sine squared u du. Okay. Actually, you know, I kind of would prefer that to be cos, I think, because I think it'll make it a little bit easier for the trigonometry. So if I just switch these around, that's root 1 minus x squared. So instead, if I say sine u equals x, then that means dx du would be cos u du. And it also means then that cos u will be the root. So I'll just change that now. Integration from minus a to a. The root is cos u. And then the dx, that's cos u du. So that would be cos squared u du. Okay, that's a little bit better because cos squared, I have a formula for that in trigonometry. Cos squared u, I'll just write it down here. There's a formula that says cos 2u is cos squared u minus sine squared u. But sine squared is 1 minus cos squared. So that would become 2 cos squared u, because we minus minus. Sine squared is 1 minus cos squared. So it'd be 2 cos squared u minus 1. So that would mean cos squared is cos 2u plus 1 over 2 du. So integrating that, that would become sine 2u, which is sine 2u over 2, which is 4 plus a half u. And I've integrated. But I need to change the limits actually, because they're not a's when you have a different variable. That would be, that's 2 sine u cos u. So that's 2 sine u cos u. And then a half u, and u is sine inverse. So that's a half sine inverse x variable. So I need to get these back to x. Sorry, I have to put limits in as well. This has gone back to x, so that's minus a to a. I need to get this one back to x. Minus 2 over 3a cubed plus sine u, which is x, and cos u, which is root 1 minus x squared, over 2 plus a half sine inverse x, a minus a. That's an odd function. That's an odd function. So what I can do is just say it's 2 of these with the a put in. Because if you think about it, if you have an odd function like f of k minus f of minus k, if it's odd, the minus comes out and makes a plus, so you get just twice the value. So it would just be 2 of these where x has been replaced by a. So that's the answer. Once I sub in the a, it should be about 1.066. Let me see. Root minus 1 plus root 5 over 2. Okay, so minus 2 over 3 times that cubed plus 2, and then that times that over that plus a half sine inverse that. Yes, that is correct. So it means the final answer, you want to write it out numerically, which I'm going to put up the top here. Final answer is minus 2/3 root 1 minus 1 plus root 5 over 2 cubed. Actually, I could have multiplied the 2 in, couldn't I? Oh well. Plus root minus 1 plus root 5 over 2 times the square root of 1 minus 1 plus root 5 over 2 plus sine inverse root minus 1 plus root 5 over 2. Yeah. Oh, let's see if that's right. 1.0 They rounded to 3, 1.067. So although an exact answer is possible, it's messy.